if all these people drive up in their personal cars. There's a bus involved? That changes the dynamic.
So it's the legality.
Well, yeah. Because you can prove conspiracy if there's a bus.
Yeah.
If there are cars, it's much harder to prove.
And there's enough money.
If there's enough money, then you have people drive their POV.
Absolutely.
Or you have them drive rental.
You know, every time I see that video, I just can't believe it. What I also can't believe is why everybody isn't playing it just in shock and awe. You're talking about Democratic operatives busting up Donald Trump rallies and having a strategy to do so, not showing up in buses because that would draw attention, show up in cars, pay them some money to just act up and let the fireworks begin. Think about that. Carl Paladino doesn't have to think about it. He's incensed by it. And all this time, Carl, if you think about it, much of the attention has been at these disruption at Trump rallies that they're inspired by Trump nuts. I don't see the media trying to correct that story. What about you?
I think the media has been playing him quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. I think so much is coming out about Hillary's past and present and you know, what she would bring in the future, that it's overwhelming to them and to the press, and the mainstream press is forced then to report on some of these things. I think it was a
well, there might be something to that, Carl, because this is the first day. I didn't want to jump on you, my friend, but to prove your point, the first day a couple of these issues have landed on the front page of major newspapers. I'm beginning to think that a lot of them are saying, well, this is really the drip, drip, leak, leak, revelation after revelation pattern here. We really can't ignore this. But for Donald Trump, is it going to move the needle? What do you think?
Oh, he's going to move the needle. I think by next Tuesday we'll be even or ahead. I think he's going to have a good showing tonight. I think he's well prepared for it. The most important thing, I think, though, is what's happening, where all these different people and entities are coming out and they're revealing the the insanity of Hillary Clinton and the Clinton machine. You know what they did this morning. The government shut down the Julian Assange. I think that's a real sign of desperation at this point. They're desperate to try to keep her out in front, and it's not going to happen. When I say that, they're desperate. Taking a risk of shutting down Assange and the reaction of the American people of shutting him down is something that only a desperate group of people would do. I don't believe
we should explain that Assange is Assange is responsible for these WikiLeaks. You shut him down, the leaks stop, and Democrats hope that the embarrassment stops. But it's probably too late for that now. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the people are going to get really upset with that, and it was a big risk for them to take, for Obama to get involved and punish in some way. We don't know how, but he's in some way threatened the Ecuadorian government. But the reality here is that the polls are off, and what we're seeing just in local polls taken in various areas doesn't justify what we're seeing in the national polls. Somehow they're skewering them. I looked at the report this morning. Rasmussen did a fairly good job. They came out 42-42. They're even. But the other polls is just insane. One of them showing Clinton with a 10-point lead. It's just they're out of sorts because they are not able to pick up the Democratic crossover vote. They can't pick it up in the polls, and they don't want to. They don't even want to attempt to, and that's sinful. The American people are being misled. The Trump vote is, they're trying to suppress the Trump vote with all this nonsense, and I don't think it's going to work. I think the American people have turned the mainstream media off. Yeah.
All right, well, it would have to reverse a lot of polls for that to be the case, but you could be right. It could be undercounted, and we're not appreciating the magnitude of that Trump support. Election day will tell. Carl, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Neil.